All right. Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome, I guess, to August 2019's channel update video. So, it's a little sparkly. I mean, if you go full screen in 1080p, you might be able to see my shirt sparkling a little bit. But I got a new setup of sorts since the last time I recorded these videos. I think previously I just had a black backdrop behind me. Freaks out when I go really fast, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm slowly just setting my house up, setting everything up, setting my office up, and then of course I'm going to tear it all down because I got some more things to do, but I've got a green screen behind me now, which means I can actually do this stuff, and I've got the Dragon's Deep logo behind me, which is, I'm proud of that thing. I did it in about 45 minutes, and I don't know. Was it 45? I think it might have only been 45 minutes. Speaking of, I should probably actually put that video up. That'll know exactly how long it is, and you guys will get about the 5-minute version. Wait, no, I did put that video up. What? I'm on top of things. Anyway, so, I've got the green screen. I've got a light set up now, so I can actually be properly lit, and if I look into the void... Give me a second. I'm playing with my toys, and it's bad. Anyway, so yeah, I've got some new stuff for that. I've got my big new TV. I guess I had that like last month. I just didn't talk about it too much or show it off. At some point we're going to do a house tour. I'm going to figure out how to actually film that sort of thing with my GoPro, because I still haven't actually figured out how to record videos normally with my GoPro. It's kind of one of those where it's like it's the like super sped up version, and I know you can do like regular speed, but I don't know, I've only used it like once or twice and mostly for pictures, so I gotta figure that sort of thing out. And, you know, also my lapel mic and some other stuff. I don't know, it's a weird mess. Anyway, but yeah, so I'd love to do some kind of house tour at some point, just to show off some of the new toys that I've picked up. And at some point I'll actually be able to use these for a little bit more than channel updates and, you know, just random junk. So, now that it's August 2019, what is going on in my life? Not too much. I mean, honestly, it's just the endless deluge of video games. I finished Dragon Quest last month after one hell of a binge, and we are currently doing the exact same thing with Fire Emblem. Problem is, Fire Emblem is stupidly long. It's probably longer than Dragon Quest, which is a problem because, one, it's two of us filming it, so that instantly makes it slightly longer to record, and two, it's a very bloated, long game. It's really freaking good. But boy, is that taking a lot of time. What else are we working on? I just finished Short Hike, and I've got a whole slew of games that I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. I'm going to try not to have these channel updates be entirely just like upcoming games lists, but at the same time, that's going to be what it is anyway, just because that's how it all boils down. Let's see, what else do we have? So yeah, I said Dragon's Deep is totally done. Did I say Dragon's Deep is done filming? I don't know. We finished filming it like a couple of weeks ago. Moose and Joe, it didn't really fit in their schedule, so... the campaign ended up being a little shorter than I had originally planned. At the same time, I actually really liked how it ended, and it was a very, like, solid and fairly conclusive ending. Yeah, there were some, like, plot holes and so on and so forth, but I'm looking forward to that. Being up, being done, and starting a new campaign, and it'll probably be another short one. I want to do a big, long campaign again, but I think I need more consistent players to pull from, and some open schedules to work with, so... I don't really know who's going to be in that. It might not also be until September or something. I really gotta start asking around. But right now I'm appreciating the free time because I'm super swamped. As always going to be swamped forever. Making Wanderbot Prime might have been a bit of a mistake. I should have probably pre-made a hell of a lot of content for it beforehand so I could pace it out. But you know what, whatever. It's easier for me to do these things live, even if it's not the most convenient. Anyway, so yeah, Dragon's Deep should be out over the course of the next week or two. It got a little slow there for a little while, just because I didn't have any time to edit. Because Shell's aunt and uncle visited, and we had life stuff and setup, and being an adult is kind of inconvenient, and also trying to record some really long series really does put a bit of a dampener on the rest of my schedule. Anyway... let's see, what else is about that? Yeah, so I'm working on more content for this. I've got a lot of art that I could probably start putting up. I felt a little weird about just immediately just barfing art onto the channel, but I might want to just start doing that. Because I've got a lot of old art videos that I could just throw up, you know, old thumbnail... Yeah, sorry about that. Old thumbnails that I made, and recorded the process of making them, but I never actually made them into a video. Might start putting stuff like that up. I've also got pretty much the entire art process of Dragon's Deep, and including my thoughts at the time, because it was all live streams. And I'm not really sure if I want to put that up as like just each recording session, because it's like 4 to 5 hours long, or do I want to mush them together into like 10-15 hour videos, because it could. Or I could speed them up and boil them down into the making of Dragon's Deep in about 5 hours when sped up. I'm not entirely sure. And then I could talk over like the process of some things, or I could even just do edit it down to certain things. Like, here's how I make some of my maps using some of the footage that I already recorded, or I don't know. So keep an eye out for that. What else do we have? Dunno. Oh, right, reviews. This is something kind of hard for me. I've been writing reviews, and I've scripted out like 1 or 2 of them, and I'm trying to come up with other things because I don't really like being negative. Because I already do enough of that when I'm playing games that I don't like anyway, and I don't really want to just sit down and be like, this game sucks. Because that's usually when everything goes wrong and everybody gets really mad at you. And I'd rather keep this a relatively positive thing. Not like rose-tinted glasses, but like, I really enjoyed a short hike yesterday. It was a really solid game. Beat it in about 2.5 hours. And like, I'd love to do a quick review on that, being like, it was good. Okay, thanks for watching my review on a short hike. But anyway, yeah, so I gotta work on that a little bit. Let's see. Story, I guess, from the other day. Shell, do you want to join me on this one? Of us getting stuck in Portland? Nope, she's just glaring at me. I don't know why. Anyway, I figured I'd just include this just because I think we talked about it in a video, but it's probably going to be in, like, the butt end of nowhere. But occasionally I think I might just, like, throw in a life story here. But so, a couple days ago, we were in Portland, Oregon, because that's where I live now. And we were tootling around the city. We had gone up to we had parked at the zoo. We went to what's the mansion called? Pittock Mansion. There we go. We went to the Pittock Mansion, which is this big mansion at the top of, like, more or less one of the highest points in the Portland area. And you could effectively see everything through the trees. And, maybe if we go back in the winter, we'd truly be able to see everything. And it was kind of a hazy day, but you could see Mount Hood in the distance. You could see all the hills and so on and so forth. It was a really nice view, and I'm kind of jealous because my house does not have a view. I've got a view of my neighbor's house and the, like, trees across the street, and that's about it. And so, like, being able to see the entirety of the city of Portland through the windows of this place was majestic, and I was jealous, and yeah, I'd never be able to afford a place like that, but it was really cool. And we walked around there, and it was just such a lovely day. And it was a neat historical mansion because it wasn't perfectly preserved, but it was a mansion made in the early 1900s, back when Oregon was still kind of developing, because it was one of the last states to really get settled, comparatively. And so it was built by, effectively, the owner of the largest newspaper and multiple other businesses. And they were, like, big humanitarians and did a lot of outreach programs. And also, like, mountaineering and biking and stuff, which was kind of cool. Because I will admit, I've actually been to a lot of rich people mansions in Connecticut, and half the time learning about the families, I was just like, oh god, these people are just kind of awful. 1 or 2 of them straight up had, like, slave paraphernalia that their family had just kept post-war, and it was just like, I don't really want to look at a mansion of somebody that was kind of monstrous, so it was really cool to go to this mansion of people that were good, and, they climbed Mount Hood a lot. They went biking all over the place. They climbed every peak in the Northwest. They, were big on the women's suffrage market. That's not it. Movement. There we go. I can word. Anyway, so that was cool. And if you guys are ever in the area, check it out. It was like, I don't know, $10 to get in, $13 to get in, I think, as an adult. It was kind of a neat thing to just walk around. And also the view is phenomenal. But after that, we decided to go into town. We got just Thai food. Thai food was stupidly spicy. And I can eat spicy food fine. It's the after eating it that's not good for me. So I was definitely not comfortable with that day. But whatever. But that was pleasant. It was nice to hang out with Shell's uncle and aunt, because we almost never spend any time with them. They live in Brooklyn. And yeah, we do not. So it was kind of fun to walk around. Then after that, we walked over to the Chinese garden in Portland as well, which is really pretty, kind of expensive, but, it was a nice little Zen experience in the middle of the city. And they had, like, a bunch of koi fish that you could look at. and a bunch of really cool, Chinese native trees, or some were, some weren't, and some like really neat looking rocks. I think some of them had been like fabricated and like sculpted specifically for it. I think they had like water features that most definitely were fake, but they looked really cool and it was just nicely picturesque. And they also had a really nice, I'm not going to say an authentic tea house, but the tea was really good. So we sat there for like an hour and a half just sitting around drinking tea. And effectively, they just gave you a menu with like 15 teas on it. And then they hand you like a small little pot of tea. And then they come by to refill said pot like every couple of minutes. So I ended up drinking, I mean, there weren't like big cups of tea, but I still ended up drinking a fair bit of it. It was just such a pleasant experience, and after walking around for the entire day, we just got to sit down and chill, and I really liked that. And then we put Shell's aunt and uncle on the subway back. Said, see you later. Have a good trip home, because they take the train all the way from the northwest all the way to the northeast. It's like a 4 or 5 day trip. I can't do that. Like, I hate flying. I can't wait until we get the super stupid fast train someday in the next 100 years, and then I'll probably be a doddering old man being like, this is too fast, but whatever. I want those trains because then I won't have to fly. Pressure gives me a headache, and just ultimately trains are so much more comfortable because you can actually fit people on them. Planes are like, hey, how many people can we sardine into a can? Let's almost make this into a torture trap. I have seen designs for planes where you have to like kind of light stand, and you kind of like sit your butt on like the barest minimum of a seat just so they can pack more people in. And God, that'd be awful. I wouldn't enjoy this. Yeah, that's that too. But like, I've been standing for the past 4 hours because I've got a standing desk, and my legs are definitely feeling it, and my ankles are. I've got a lot of respect for people that have to stand every day for hours on end for retail, because good God, I couldn't do that. Anyway, so we send them off on the train. Goodbye. And then we start walking back to the red and blue line, because they were on the orange line to get to whatever the hotel was. And to get back to our place, we're much further out west. But anyway, so we get to our stop, and we had gone to it was effectively Japanese IKEA. But we walked in, and it just looked really pleasant. It had a lot of like just simple Japanese like knickknacks, some furniture, and some like house organization stuff, but it was cute. Walked around, we were just having a pleasant day. It was like 80 something that day, but it really didn't feel like it. There was such a nice breeze, so we were just like, yeah, we're having a great day. And so yeah, it was just so quiet. It was so nice. There were some Portland has a bit of a homeless problem, but it's not super bad. You see them, they're there, but they almost never bother you apart from asking for change, which is a nice change of pace. Usually when I go back to Boston, I get yelled at by somebody, and that's less fun. But so we were actually remarking on that, and we're like, man, this is a really quiet city. I don't think we've ever heard like sirens, and there's barely any cars. And I think 30 seconds from saying we almost never hear the police doing anything. Like, we'd see them around, and once in a while we'd see them like watching somebody that's cracked out of their gourd, but 30 seconds from us saying, man, it's so peaceful around here, it's just like 5-6 cop cars just buzz past and park like 2 blocks down, and we're like, that's a problem, because we were right along the red-blue line, which goes along the street. And so when you suddenly have 5 or 6 cop cars blocking the street, that means the light rail system's not going to be running. And our house was on the other side of this mess. So we're like, all right, well, we don't want to be close to this. They're cordoning off the area. Like, the cops were not stopping. This looked like something out of Grand Theft Auto to some degree, and like, I've never been close to heavy police action, so it was kind of a surprise. Anyway, so we're like, okay, screw it. We're just going to walk south, and then west, and then north, and then walk along the... I guess you guys can't see me gesticulate, but it doesn't even matter. I'm just trying to be animated because it's kind of fun to actually move while I'm recording a video for once. Because I almost never... I'm always just sitting here being like... Blah, blah. Anyway, so we walked west along the track, more or less just hoping, hey, maybe at some point a train will come by. Maybe it'll come from the west, stop, and then go back and pick us up. But Yeah, none of the trains were moving, and eventually we stopped at Goose Hollow, and there was a train there, but it looked packed, and it looked like there were a bunch of workers kind of trying to deal logistics with people, and that just didn't seem like a good idea. So we just called a lift from a nearby bus stop and had them bring us up because the buses were off, of course, for maintenance. So it was kind of a perfect storm of inconvenient. And this was like right during when I'd start streaming too, and I was like, I already know I'm going to be late today, and then this happened. I'm like. And yeah, it was one of those where we were walking along these streets and cops would like come out of the woodwork to start taping off the street we're on. So it's just like, we should probably get out of here. And we'd heard kind of slight information from like other people nearby about like potential for a bomb, which, yeah, obviously you don't really want to be around an active bomb scene. Bomb crime scene, and this is like right at the courthouse, so it's like, yeah, you know, there very well could actually be an IED somewhere around here, an explosive device, and it's just like, yeah, let's go as far away from this as possible. And so we take the lift up back to the zoo where our car was parked, and we drove home and hopped on the news, and apparently just some crazy woman had walked into the local bank right next to the courthouse and been like, I have a bomb, and almost immediately got arrested. But obviously the cops kind of have to take that sort of thing seriously. Admittedly, like, there's a lot of crazy people out there, so like you can't take everything seriously, but I don't know, they're doing their due diligence. But it was just such a wild experience to just like have cops flooding out of nowhere, and I'm like, maybe those video games are a little bit more accurate about the response time for certain things. I don't know, it was impressive and just weird to be around, and almost surreal, because yeah, we're just having a pleasant walk and it's just sirens going past, and it's like, sounds like there's something bad going on. Anyway, but yeah, that was just that was a random story from the other day. At some point, I'll do animations of these things, maybe. But for now, I'm just going to chuck them into the update video as kind of an extra thing, so I'm not just talking about video games for the rest of my life. Anyway, so what else? Oh, right, Shell, now it's time. Get thine butt over here. Yep, come on. She is here. She's sitting over there judging me this entire time. So do you want to be on the nice side, or are you on the fine side? My hair is becoming procedurally more disheveled. Hi, Shell. What's up? She wants to be on the other side, because one side of her face is the more attractive side, apparently.
Well, I don't know. I think it's better lit this way. You always get that side.
I think all sides of you are attractive. Even the butt side. Anyway, Shell, you want to do the honors?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a little late. So a couple months ago, was it back at end of March, early April, was PAX East, which we had gone to. And more or less that same week, a game called The World Next Door, right? It was yeah. That had come out, and we covered it because we thought it looked adorable. We'd seen it at PAX West the year before, and we're like, yeah, this is a really cute game. And so we covered it, and we got contacted by the PR people. I guess PR person, who I guess we still haven't met yet. I was assuming we'd meet them at some point beforehand. But they were like, hey, want to have like a care package? And we're like, yeah, we love swag.
Let's put that there for now.
And so they I don't know how long it took them. Apparently it took them a little while to send this. Otherwise we would have done this sooner.
Also, when you have a P.O. box, you forget about it.
Yeah, we check our P.O. box about once every 3 months. But so they were kind enough.
We should check every month at the very least.
Yeah, probably. But they were kind enough to send us along this thing. Don't worry. I guess
you have to be careful.
Our address isn't even going to be on it. So it doesn't even matter.
Right.
But
so
it might be a bit green screened.
This looks massive. Maybe
yeah,
it's
it looks
intended for you.
Partly green screened, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the logo for The World Next Door. It's the mask that June wears. And we have a little pin version of that too, but it looks like a hoodie.
Yep.
And it has the
World Next Door on that.
I hate how this is mirrored. So that we're on opposite sides. So I try to move it one way or the other, and it's the opposite that I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so The World Next Door. I don't know if is there anything down one of the arms? Oh.
Yeah.
What does it say there?
It says Rose City Games on the
Rose
sleeve.
City Games.
Which is the studio that made the game. Yep. And they're lovely people. Still have yet to meet them. I will probably try and go to a Pig Squad event, which is where we'll probably see them properly.
Yeah, looks like they gave you a large.
Yep.
To be able to wear that.
But yeah, this was very nice of them, and obviously we got a couple more things.
Oh, I suppose they also have a card.
Yep. So hello from Rose City Games.
It says, "Hi Wanderbots. We wanted to send a small but very heartfelt thank you for playing The World Next Door. We appreciate you. Please don't hesitate to stay in touch. I didn't realize you were so close by. Jenny and the RCG team." Well, we're only close by now.
Yeah, we were in the process of moving in more or less when we were starting the coverage of this game. So it was kind of neat to move close to a game studio. That's nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, and they sent us some more things. So, you wanna...
So, this is the little comic book. We had actually already had a copy of the comic book, I believe, from PAX.
Yep.
And then we did read it. I think there was a PDF
there was
version.
a PDF that was included with the game. And
so it's all about how June first comes across getting her lottery ticket for attending the event where she's allowed to go through the portal and into Emrys.
Yep.
And this might be the Rose City Games.
Yep. I think that's a sticker. Yep.
Yeah. Looks like the sticker. Games. I like their font.
Yeah.
And that's cute there too. And it looks like you have their business card. And there's Prince.
Oh.
His hair.
Oh, the green screen is destroying. It is destroying him. Oh well.
Okay, so this is Rainy. He looked like a water dragon or something.
Oh, he absolutely was a water dragon. But that's a pretty little piece of artwork.
Oh, it might be narrative driven. Okay, so this is just
that's effectively just a super large mailer, but still.
And then this is the
whole poster.
The poster,
which is not as butchered by the green screen setup, which I will work on. I think I need to get a new webcam. Oh, they even signed it.
Oh, Lord Grist signed it.
That's cool.
I don't know if it was other members of the cast or...
Yeah, probably. We can't. They're just squiggle signatures. Anyway, so that was really nice of them and really cute. And I don't know. I like the hoodie. I'll probably alternate it between my Wanderbot hoodie or Shell. You know, you did need a new hoodie, even if it's bigger than your standard ones.
I'd probably need to get a medium or something along those lines in the future. But
And I guess the last thing that I should probably say as part of the studio, they're currently working on a new game called, I believe, Cat Lady or The Cat Lady.
The Cat Lady.
It's a roguelike where you chuck cats at enemies. It looks really cute. I will be covering it. I think Shell might sit that one out because I don't think it's a story-driven, but it looks really fun. So she's throwing cats at people to what end? To defeat them.
Are the cats gonna claw them?
But there's like weird cats. It's very gamey, and I'm pretty sure half the cats are like fire themed or like
elemental themed.
Yeah, they're definitely not standard cats. Nor is this a standard person that is just chucking cats. I don't know. It looked cute, but I figure seeing as they sent us nice things, I'd at least mention their next game before we cover it. I'll probably mention it a couple more times. We might even get early access. I don't know. I'm hoping so. But it looked really cute, and it had a nice limited palette.
Yeah,
anyway.
And I suppose in other news, if I'm doing solo series, I might actually start uploading them all to the Wanderbots channel.
Yes. I guess if you guys hadn't noticed, Shell had put out a series over the past 2 months called Heaven's Vault.
Heaven's Vault, yep.
Yeah. And so she had recorded that on her own, and then put that on the main Wanderbots channel. And that's probably going to be where your content will usually go.
Just to keep things separate, because I'm primarily an artist, and I know that with Let's Plays, the instant you start a Let's Play series, you're getting 20, 30 some episodes, and then also for me, the editing process is so much more complicated because I like to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and go, oh wait, when you there's a smack of something there, I'm gonna take it out of the audio.
That's just part of the standard ASMR.
I'm gonna make sure that it starts and stops at just the right point for a cliffhanger.
Now I've just accepted that at this point. I mean, people say they go to sleep to me, so things like weird mouth noises and yeah, I'm just assuming it's part of the experience, and that's what people are here for. The actual commentary is secondary to just weird mouth noises. Anyway, so that's up with you. I gotta get going on some of these things. Oh, right! Before I just give you the boot and start talking about new games, we got one other thing to talk about, which is PAX West.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're going to be going to...
at the end of August.
At the end of August. So, if any of you guys are going to be there, look for us. These are our faces. We're not weird. Well, no, we are weird, but we're not... I'll only mildly insult you by accident. Last guy that found me was massively tall.
Huh?
Oh, I was just talking about the massively tall fan that found us at the end of PAX East. He was like a 16-year-old, and he was like 6'6" or something like that. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like 5'10". I'm not that short, but he towered, and it was cool. Anyway, but yeah, if you do see us, I will offer a kindly fist bump and then probably hustle on my way because there's so many games to check out. But we'll either have various gaming shirts on or probably a Wanderbot shirt on.
Shirts.
Yeah. I was gonna like lift you, but that'd probably be bad.
No, it's too tall.
Anyway. But yeah, so if you are gonna be at PAX West, or if you're gonna be in Seattle in general, let us know, because I wouldn't honestly mind doing like everybody just like piles out and goes to some like Mediterranean place for lunch, because that could be kind of fun.
Mediterranean?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I just figured it was an inoffensive food, and I'm feeling some Thai regret even now. So,
well, we did have Indian and Thai, and so perhaps too many curries. For
I am yearning for boring for at least a little while. Maybe I'll be fine later, but still. Anyway, so if anybody is going to PAX West, we'd love to meet up with people. So, you know, at some point, I will do one of these things, and if nobody responds, I guess I'll just go have a lonely meal by myself. It's fine. Anyway, I guess that's it for kind of current and upcoming non-game events, I think. Even though it's still gaming related, because that's just how we roll.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's an extensive list of games coming up. It looks like August is going to be chock full. And so many of them are popping up right before PAX, which is a little problematic.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm making dumb faces.
I know.
So I've got my upcoming list over on the left there. So I'm just gonna roll through the list real quick because there's just too many of them to talk about. So obviously, still recording Swords and Souls Never Seen, still recording Moonlighter, still recording Oxygen Not Included, Fire Emblem, Okami's done.
We're
just
probably
going
gonna make an effort to finish some of those long games that we had stopped with both of us. So
probably mainly Lost Sphear is the next one. Hopefully we can get that done before Oninaki, just because Oninaki is the next Tokyo RPG Factory game. So that will probably start going up in a couple of days, now that we're not stupid busy, hopefully. But as far as like upcoming things or things that we need or want to play, oh right, I got a new computer it was supposed to be here and ready to be made today, but they delayed it again. I'm kind of pissed about that. I'll talk about that next update.
You've had
probably
an ordeal getting your computer parts.
They keep canceling my parts without telling me, and I don't find out until it doesn't get delivered. I'm like, come on. And then it gets delayed and some other things. I don't know. It's stupid. I looked it up on Amazon. The case that's not going to be coming for another week, I can get it in a day. If I canceled the order and reordered it, I'm not going to bother because I'd probably screw up. But it's like, get it by Saturday. And I'm like, what? No.
Wait,
it's coming on Thursday. It's being fulfilled by Amazon. I don't know what the deal is. I think they're lying.
Is it because you got it from a different seller via Amazon? Is it because their stock ran out and then they...
I'm assuming they're pretending they have more stock than they have, and it's just dumb, but I'm pissed off because I have every other computer part sitting in the other room.
Except the case.
Except for the case, which I need because I can't put together a computer without a case to put it in, because that'd be bad. Anyway, so yeah, that sucks. So yeah, new computer on the way. I'll talk about that more next month, probably. We also have a lot of PAX stuff to talk about. And oh god, so many games, because September is worse than this month, and this month is bad. So, as far as games that I haven't started covering yet, that I should cover, a couple of games from last month that I need to cover. A game called Professor Lupo, small puzzle game. I said I'd play it. I haven't had the time. Looked cute. Let's see. Wolfenstein Youngblood. I wanted that new computer. I was hoping I'd have all the parts. We put in the order for the parts July 14th, during Prime Day. And then I was like, I don't need to have it until like the week after. And then it's not going to be here until first or second week of August. I'm pissed. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know about Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's got like kind of some reviews to it, but there's not a whole lot of co-op RPG shooters with a sci-fi flair.
Co-op campaign games in general tend to be lacking.
Yeah, and so I've been watching Ash and Jazz from Stomp to play it, and it looks fun. It looks like the kind of thing that we'd probably enjoy. So we might take some time out to play that game later. Other games coming up, you can bail if you want, because half these things.
Okay.
Goodbye, Shell. Anyway, I'm just gonna scoot over. She is just crawling out. Anyway, so I figured upcoming games list, not exactly super her thing, but so Wolfenstein Youngblood, we'll play it at some point. Let's see, Mutant Year Zero, Seed of Evil. Originally, they were going to sponsor a series from me, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted me to do like ad inserts, and I don't do those because I don't like them. So I still mean to cover that game, and it's kind of on my list, but there's a lot of other new games that came out and have come out recently that I guess we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, they're starting to pile on, and unfortunately, my channel doesn't really live off of DLC. Nobody's really looking for them that much, and nobody's really putting a whole lot of marketing into it either, which sucks. I mean, some are putting marketing in, seeing as the, I was talking about them trying to sponsor a video on it. But anyway, most DLCs never do nearly as well as, like, the main games on my channel, which kind of sucks. So I'll get to it within the next couple days. Honestly, what I'm probably going to do is an indie game lightning round with a bunch of these next couple games that I want to talk about, just because there's no way I can do series on half of them, because some of them are long. On that topic, a game called Forged of Blood, which is like a near future, like semi-sci-fi. Wait, no, it's not. It's medieval. I'm wrong. I was thinking of a different one. But a medieval XCOM, not clone, but XCOM-like. And it looks really neat, and it has some cool mechanics that, like, speak to me on a design basis. The problem is anything that is similar to XCOM is almost always, like, 30 hours long or longer. And that really sucks, because I can't do that. So that'll be sometime this weekend, if I can't jam it in earlier. Another game called Jupiter Hell and Warforged, actually. I'm going to mention both of those. Jupiter Hell is a very faithful spiritual successor to Doom RL, which I've never played, but apparently every single review said Doom RL, so that's actually kind of higher on the list just because I'm still waiting on some good roguelikes. I played Collapsed a couple of days ago, and that was neat, but I think it needs some more work, and, I think I'd prefer to play it multiplayer instead of playing solo, just because I don't like the roguelikes where it's just like, you beat the run, and then everything just gets slightly harder, so you do it again and again and again. And, like, there's a fun meta progression system, but it's effectively just a slow gear treadmill until you have a high enough number to beat everything, and it's like, I don't know, sometimes that's fun. I liked that in Rogue Legacy because it felt good and there was an actual conclusive end, and it, like, slowly unlocked more game as you go along, as opposed to kind of the new game plus route where nothing changes except for the numbers, and that kind of sucks a bit. I don't know. I might fit more in, especially if I can get another person to play with me, or I might not. I don't know, but it was neat. Let's see, what else was there? So yeah, Warforged is just a top-down shooter with kind of an anime flair. I don't know, but that might show up sooner than later, probably on Sunday. That's when I usually do my lightning round. So if you do want to catch one of those, I do this on Twitch at, 4 p.m. PST, and I usually spend the entire night just being like, new game. You might have seen that even with, like, Nightnet and let's see, Tower Tale and a couple other things, and that was kind of neat. And I'm probably going to try and do that a little bit more, because yeah, there's just too many games for me to cover, and some of them are a little bit more pressing than the others. Speaking of kind of long strategy games that I do want to cover, though, we've got, let's see, Age of Wonders Planetfall. I never got onto the Age of Wonders games. They looked really nice, but I just didn't have a key when they made the previous games. But they reached out and sent me a key for Planetfall a couple days ago, and it's embargoed until, I think it's the 5th. The game comes out on the 6th, but the embargo drops on the 5th. So I'm at least going to try and play a little bit of that, because I grew up with games like Master of Orion and Civilization. I don't play them on my channel much, because, yeah, they are incredibly long, but I'd like to play them occasionally. I loved the Endless series. I played a hell of a lot of Endless Legend. I should probably go back and do a series on them at some point when I have free time, but ugh. Anyway, but yeah, so that one's probably going to show up, and I'm looking forward to that because it looks pretty, and I like 4X strategy games that are not based in the past, because I like sci-fi and fantasy better. Speaking of sci-fi, other game, same day, is Metal Wolf Chaos XD. I got early access to it. Technically, I can play until the 5th mission whenever you hit Miami. So I've started filming that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a full series on it because, oh god, not the animation, the audio balancing is, I think, the worst I've ever seen in a video game. Cutscenes, blow your ears out. In-game dialogue, mostly sound effects, just drown it out, and everything else in between is like... editing that's going to take a little bit more work. And it really is hard to play a game where it's either you turn it down and you can't hear anybody talk until the cutscene happens, then you can hear everything, or you turn it up and then you blow your ears out. I don't really know. But even then, Metal Wolf Chaos looked like an absolute blast, and playing it was pretty fun. So I'm going to try my best to at least see some amount of that game. And if I just give up on the audio, you'll know why. Anyway, let's see, what else do we have? There's a roguelike going on a Kickstarter on August 6th called Dreamscaper. Shell and I played it yesterday, and we loved it. It was really pretty. And so, I guess Dreamscaper or Dreamscaper Chronicles. I have it written down as Dreamscaper Chronicles, but I think it's just Dreamscaper on my Steam libraries. I don't know. But that'll be going up on Kickstarter on August 6th, and that looked really good. So I'll probably put up the video then, because I like roguelikes. A lot of them tend to be on the uglier side, and this was probably one of the prettiest I've ever seen. And it was kind of a weird mosh between Hand of Fate, Binding of Isaac, and Dead Cells, which, like, equipment and ability system from Dead Cells, gameplay of Hand of Fate, and level and room design of Binding of Isaac. It actually is a pretty cool mix. Needs some work, but for a Kickstarter demo, it was pretty satisfying. And the meta progression system felt good, because it was just unlocking new cool things, like a laser sword, or just a laser. There was some other stuff, but I wasn't paying attention, because lasers are cool. But yeah, that was a fun game. Let's see, speaking of, I guess, roguelikes, the next one on my list is Rad, which is a roguelike. I don't know who's making it. I know it's being published by Namco Bandai. Is it Double Fine? I don't remember. But Rad looks cool. I tried signing up for the alpha, but I didn't get in, because I didn't bother. Usually I get press contacts for these things, but Namco Bandai only knows I exist for Digimon and nothing else, and half the time they forget I exist too, so it's kind of... I'll probably just pick that up on the 20th and play it. It looks rad, and I can't wait to play it. But I don't know if I'm going to get any kind of early access to that all the same. But still, I'm looking forward to it. Other game I'm also really looking forward to is called Remnant from the Ashes, which is the new game by Gunfire Games, the people that made Darksiders 3, which, a little on the flawed side, but it was still really good. And now they're making a 3-player co-op looter-shooter boss fight. It had some, like, I'm gonna say Bloodborne aesthetic feel, and the monsters felt like it, and it might be kind of Bloodborne hard, but I'm not sure. But that looked like a really fun thing. I will be playing that with Shell. I don't know if I'm going to drag in a friend to join us as a third, or if we might just have an open slot for fans, or if it's one of those where it's balanced for 2 people, we might just do it 2 people. I don't really know. But I'm really looking forward to that one, because, yeah, there's not a whole lot of, like, games in that genre and style, and I hope it's good. I mean, Darksiders 3 was fantastic. It had its flaws, which they fixed. Speaking of, there's a DLC for that at some point that we'll sit down and play. But still, like, decent pedigree and lovely design, so I'm really looking forward to that one. In the same vein, I guess you guys might have actually already seen this a couple of days ago, but we did a series on the demo of Oninaki, which is the latest game by Tokyo RPG Factory. We were talking about this earlier. People that made I Am Setsuna and Lost Sphere. And so they're making a new game called Oninaki, and it's like action combat. And, you know, it was a little repetitive, but it had a really weird, wild premise where reincarnation was kind of guaranteed unless you mourned for somebody, at which point then they get stuck perpetually as some kind of murder ghost, maybe? At which point, you know, then the main character has to go and kill the people mourning for them and guide them to safety. And there's also evil spirits and some other stuff, and that's wild. And ow, I think I should stop standing. Whatever, I'll stand like a flamingo for a little while. Anyway, but Oninaki looked like an absolutely fantastic game, and we really did enjoy the 2 hours that we played. And so that comes out on August 22nd. Did I say that from Remnant from the Ashes? That was the 20th. Anyway, so Oninaki's the 22nd. Minoria, new game by the people that made Momodora. It's a spiritual successor. I don't know why it's not just Momodora 5 or whatever. Was it 5? Because Reverie Under the Moonlight was Momodora 4. I don't know. Anyway, spiritual successor, also a Metroidvania, also featuring Girl Priestess, standard fare for them, but that'll be out on the 27th. I'm looking forward to that. I'm running out of breath here. I'm trying to go fast. But that looked really cute, and I can't wait to play that. And let's see, last couple of games, all on August 30th. We've got RE Legend, which I did the beta for, which was really cool, and I'm really excited for it, because it's effectively Rune Factory, Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, with monster collection and a linear story and stuff. And for me, that's really cool, because yeah, I don't get to play games like that much. And honestly, if I can do like a 2-4 player thing with Shell, I think that'd be really exciting. Let's see, what else do we have? Dark Pictures, Man of Medan. My foot is really hurting, actually. Ow, I'm gonna just sink off the camera by the end of this video. Anyway, Dark Pictures, Man of Medan is from the, oh boy. I'm totally forgetting. This actually really hurts. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish this up, but yeah, that'll be out on the 30th. I don't know if we're gonna play that, because that's like the day before we go to PAX, and so that might be after we get back. Maybe I'll try and get some friends to pile onto chairs with us, and we'll pass around a controller, because apparently they've got like a de facto multiplayer mode for that, which is kind of cool. Where you play as the different characters and you get to choose options. Hi. And the last game on August 30th is Astral Chain, which is the latest game by Platinum, and has light monster collection stuff, but it's mostly an action hack and slash RPG, which is exciting, because anything from Platinum is really good. Okay. Oh god, what happened? I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys next month, and or on other videos that I do. I think I'm gonna have to stop doing the standing desk. Bye. See you next time. I'm really sorry about this. I don't know what happened. I probably should have just stopped, but I was like a minute from ending. So farewell. See you in September. Or PAX. Please visit me.